Experience last night?
But it ended up being a close game, and they had a chance to win. It was really cool to be, be there. I grew up a big college basketball fan, and obviously Coach Boeheim, he's a legend. So to be there and to witness that, and I didn't realize that's how the stadium was. It's just kind of split in half, and it was a really cool experience. I'm glad we got to go.
Josh, what really goes into creating that final?
I think it's doing stuff outside the facility. You saw that last night. I was with Tanner, Steph, and Gabe, and again, just having guys over and hanging out, watching TV, breaking bread together, and just being able to learn them on a personal level and develop that trust and camaraderie off the field, and I think it pays dividends on the field.
Maybe branching off that a little bit, you guys have been away during the holidays a lot the last couple of seasons. How much is that time together during the holidays, only having each other during a time where you typically have your family, how does that play into building that bond, not only with the receivers, but the rest of the team?
Yeah, again, we're like a family here, man. We spend so much time together that if you're away from your family because you're here, you're really not away from family. So obviously each of our individual rooms have like their own white elephant or secret Santa that we do, and I think it's really cool and special that we have here. And I don't know if that's what everyone else does, but I think we do it pretty right here in terms of how we handle the holidays and how much time we spend together, how much we care about each other. It's a great feeling.
Josh, how do you find out?
You got to be on a team that's now made the playoffs in 4 straight years, and I guess I'm sure it never gets old, but just for you to envision that, for that to have happened so quickly.
I mean, I think so. You look at, Coach McDermott and what he's done here. He's got 5 in his first 6 as the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. The guys that Bean has brought into this locker room, the leaders that we have. That's our goal each and every year is to win the Super Bowl. And you can only do that by making the playoffs. So, again, that's our message, playoff caliber. We're starting to switch over all the signs to championship caliber. But again, yeah, that's what we want to do. That's what we set out to do each and every year.
Can you appreciate, though, that where this franchise was, they made the playoffs the year before, but the fact that they went 17 years, it's not easy to make the playoffs and to know that you're part of a team that has really changed the trajectory of this franchise over the course of 5 years.
Yeah, I think it's cool, but at the end of the day, we still haven't accomplished our main goal, and that's what drives us every single day.
Find out when you win an AFC Offensive Player of the Week award? Does somebody from the league call you? Does PR tell you? How do you find out?
Usually Kevin texts me. He's like, hey, congrats. I'm like, thanks. I usually don't respond, honestly. Sorry, Kev.
Your 10th. I know it's a team award. You're going to tell us that, but what is that feeling like for you when you find out that you've been recognized around the league for having that performance?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. At the end of the day, that doesn't really matter to me. I'm just trying to, like I said, be the best quarterback and teammate that I can be for the Buffalo Bills, and with team success usually comes individual awards, and we know that as players, and obviously Pro Bowl stuff I'm sure is going to come out soon. I don't know exactly who's made it, but I think that's kind of a team award too, and it takes everybody when you're on the field. It takes, 5 or 6 guys up front blocking, that's linemen and tight ends, sometimes running backs. Takes the guys catching the ball and creating yards after catch and scoring touchdowns too. So, it takes 11 guys when you're out on the field.
Josh. It's the coldest game you've ever played at any level.
I think it was last year's divisional against the Patriots. I think that was pretty cold. I don't know if that was a couple degrees at kickoff. Played in the Mountain West Championship game in Laramie. That was, I think, 5 degrees at kickoff. So this one's going to be chilly. But after a certain, degrees, I don't know how to say that, you don't really feel the difference. And I think that's, after under 10 degrees, it's just it's just cold. I don't know how else to describe it. But again, we know certain things to keep our bodies warm, and our equipment staff does such a good job of making sure that we have the right tools and equipment to keep warm on the sidelines.
Do you have any particular warmth tricks that you like for that?
Obviously switching to the long sleeves during the cold. that's a positive. I know some guys do like a little wetsuit underneath that kind of traps all the heat in. Last year doing the divisional, I don't remember if it was icy hot or Vaseline or something. Put them on my toes to try to keep some warmth and insulation there. That's really all I do.
Gloves, do you ever consider wearing some
Never.
like wearing like diamond cutters gloves or stuff like that?
Can't do it.
The regular season game against New England, it was like the winds were 28 to 35 with gusts 40, and you guys threw it, decent. Just playing in that, did that show you that, whatever, the forecast is 10 mile an hour to 20 mile an hour winds, whatever, we'll deal with it. Kind of what's your attitude after surviving a 40 mile an hour gusty game?
Yeah, again, it's every game's different, and the weather. We were supposed to get so much snow last game, and it didn't come really till that late in fourth quarter. So, whatever the weather is, we'll deal with it and kind of adjust on the fly. But yeah, having that experience in the wind, and obviously playing in Laramie for a few years, and I feel comfortable in that type of situation. But again, every game and situation is different, so I guess we'll see.
Josh, you were listening.
Coach McDermott such a player's coach?
I think he allows us to be ourselves. He's very respectful of personalities in the locker room, and he's really handed the reins over to the guys on the team, the captains on the team, and really made this a player-driven locker room. And I think that's when you have really good and successful teams, when the coach can recognize that he's got the right pieces in place and he can let us be who we are and do what we're supposed to do, and that's why we're here. I think, again, what he's done, 5 playoffs in the last 6 years, and the winningest head coach in Buffalo Bills history right now, and we had to keep going, obviously, and guys respect him for it.
Josh, yesterday was the first time in nearly a month you have been listed as limited with your right elbow. I was just wondering, I know you've said it's something you'll be navigating for a while, but how is it feeling? What's that process like right now with managing?
Yeah, it feels good. I think yesterday was more just obviously it was a walkthrough, so just trying to limit the throws and be smart with that. But it felt really good today. It felt really good, so I'm glad the training staff decided to kind of keep me limited yesterday, and I haven't felt that good in a long time.
Josh, along the lines of your last answer there, and I think the whole trap game narrative is more outside of Buffalo and maybe a national thing, looking at this matchup this week, than it is from being reported here locally. But we asked Sean about that. He talked about what you had just said in terms of the leaders on this team leading by example and preventing that mentality at all from seeping. Is that something you need to address, or because of the way the last 2 seasons ended and what's at stake with home field and everything else, that do you need to even address that, or do the guys here kind of get it?
Guys in this locker room know. Our goal is to win our division, and we have an opportunity to go do that. So we're putting our best foot forward right now. We're having a good week of practice. Obviously, we got to go out there Saturday and execute to the best of our ability. But we know that this team's going to be hungry. They're going to come out, playing really hard. They're flying around on defense. They're making plays on offense. So, we got to go in there and expect a dogfight and play 4 quarters of football.
Josh, what's been the difference in the red zone of late? Do you feel like the offense is kind of ramping up here at the right time?
Yeah, I think attention to detail, going through practice and making sure that the plays that we got in, everybody's comfortable with running them. We're very aware of what plays we're running, the concepts that we're running, getting the ball to certain guys, and I think the threat of running down there has really opened up some different stuff for us, and again, execution on game night.
Dustin Knox has 15 targets in the last 2 weeks, a couple of touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. What does having a tight end who's producing on a constant basis do for him?
I think it's a matchup nightmare for some defense. He's big, he's fast, he's catching the ball very well right now. Obviously scoring touchdowns, he's making a lot of rack, and I've been saying this for a while. He's probably the best ball, the guy with the ball in his hands. He's hard to bring down. He's a big sucker. So again, the more times we can feed him the ball, and I know he's fresh, he's ready to go, and he's being smart about play time and concepts, and I think Coach Dorsey's been putting him in a really good position. He's been making some plays for us.
You guys are top 3 in the NFL in second quarter scoring. Is there something you're noticing about that quarter in particular where things are clicking a little bit better?
I think that first quarter, usually, we want to score every time we touch the ball, but sometimes it's a fill out process and understand what the defense is trying to do, and it's just kind of an in-game adjustment of like, all right, this is their plan for today. Let's get to these plays. But again, guys are just going out there and executing. We're trusting each other right now. We're communicating very well. Obviously, we've got a lot of work to do, and we've still got a lot of games left, so we got to continue to find ways to improve. But just we're playing good football because we're talking, we're smart, we're making sure that we're holding on to the football and making good decisions.
You watch a lot of football. What are your impressions of Justin Fields? And you obviously got Stephon Diggs in your third season. How important was getting that big time receiver? What could his game kind of look like if they get a big weapon that offense?
I mean, I couldn't tell you what it would look like. He's making a lot of plays right now. He's moving around well. Obviously, they know he's big, he's fast, he's strong. I think he's throwing it really well too. And obviously, bringing Steph here, that was great for me and this offense and what he's done for my career. And I cherish every moment that I have with him because he's been so good to me in football and off the field. And I don't know, but again, I couldn't answer that question fully.